Greetings, everyone, and welcome back to Hong Kong. We're playing some Shadowrun, and we're about to check our computer where we get informations about, I think, our first, official Shadowrun thing. Alright, so your workstation and mission computer. The cool blue tones of the workstation's main menu fill the screen. Must be a big main menu. A blinking message in the upper right corner notifies you that you have 6 unread messages. Oh, I remember this. Check your inbox for new messages. You have 600 messages there, so let's go back. Jobs directory. Main. No pending jobs. Jobs directory. Active jobs. None. Okay. Guess we'll go to new messages again. Alright. Geomantic sabotage. From Kylie Chang to Spot. Subject: Geomantic sabotage. Geomancy is a big business in the free enterprise zone here in Hong Kong. Feng Shui isn't just the act. I like saying feng shui. Feng shui isn't just the act of rearranging your kitchen to make things look pretty. The fortunes of empires rise and fall with the ebb and flow of qi. Whatever. And sometimes that flow needs a helping hand. Wuxing Incorporated are the preeminent practitioners of large-scale qi manipulation here in the free enterprise zone. They've gone to great lengths to channel qi from all over Hong Kong into their headquarters, an enormous monstrosity that they call the Wuxing Sky Tower. There, it is focused and transformed into good fortune through the building's geomantically attuned architecture and interior decoration. Our client believes that it is time for Wuxing's good luck to run out. Okay? You have to infiltrate the Sky Tower and disrupt the flow of qi throughout the building, but you are to do so in 2 distinct factions. First, you must disrupt the feng shui of the offices by subtly altering the environment of that level. This will consist of minor adjustments to desks, spilled water, and other small activities that are unlikely to be noticed. Ordinarily, even subtle disturbances of this nature would be noticed. This is why the client wishes you to make a much louder demonstration on the rooftop garden. The garden is to be ransacked, utterly destroyed, set fire to things, uproot trees, that kind of thing. Our client has also specified that he would like you to destroy the large Buddhist statue in the garden, smash the thing to bits, and leave them scattered across the rooftop. This level of destruction will keep Wuxing's geomancers busy long enough that the more subtle disruptions below will take effect. In addition, it will send the kind of message our client would like Wuxing to hear. Okay, I have utmost faith in your ability to cause destruction. The more disruptions you can cause on both levels of the Sky Tower, the happier the client will be. As you're not a spellcaster yourself, it may be wise to bring Gobet along. She will be able to see the most effective ways to disrupt the key of the building. We're going to go back for the time being. We're going to actually look at some other stuff here. I guess we'll do this one, actually. Spot, on behalf of your friends at the Heo Chamber of Commerce and the Swift Winds Mojang Parlor, that's what it was called, Swift Winds, I welcome you to the community of Heo and our new business venture. I have already lined up 3 jobs for you. The details of each are contained in a separate computer message. Remember to check your messages often, as I will update you with new opportunities as they occur. Auntie C. Your mission computer. This is from Isabel. Hey Spot, I've set up your mission computer to automatically collect and collate news reports, information, and media that might be of interest to you. Some of the keywords I've got it trolling for are things like Raymond, Duncan, Walled City, etc. I've also patched in a permanent link to the Hong Kong shard of the Shadowlands BBS. It's a great place to connect with other runners, sell pay data, get news from the street, and so on. Don't be shy about taking a look. Okay? Resources. From Bao Jinjun to Spot. I've been instructed to inform you of the various suppliers present in Heo. Ante Xing has cultivated a commercial district of well-stocked and trustworthy vendors. Whoever you choose to do business with, you will be in good hands. Ermine Cafe at Club 88 is an excellent resource for acquiring additional weapons, should you require any. If you are in need of magical supplies, go to the Parlor of 5 Phases. If you desire training in the path of the adept, seek out Spider Shin. She can help you, as well as supply you with any close-quarters weapons that you might desire. Chrome Alley can supply you with cybernetic enhancements and medical supplies. The proprietor, Tin-Armed Ambrosi, is a cyber surgeon of some repute. Law's Techno Palace is a Wampoan-run supplier of the local decking community. The place is hard to miss. Just look for a sign glowing in the sky. If you need drones, reliable Matthews Robot Bazaar is your best bet. And I pity you. Best of luck in the shadows. As fresh meat, you are likely to need it. Okay. I'm not sure if he's an ally or an enemy. Because the whole thing is that, like, we were the messenger that delivered, like, news that that completely crushed his world, pretty much. But he's been in the business long enough to know that wasn't personal. Like, we would probably prefer not to have done that. So I don't know. It depends on how, I guess, stable he is. We'll see. Kindly check Spot Serial Killer. I've got a problem, Spot, and you're going to help me solve it. I do a lot of business with the Wampoans. If you're not familiar with them, with the term, I'll forgive you. You are an outsider after all. The Wampoans are a tribe of techno-fetishists and deckers who've taken up residence in the Whampoa Garden area of Hong Kong. They make and trade high-tech goods to people from all over the world. A lot of Noonian passes through their pasty little fingers, and I make a lot of money brokering deals between them and the smugglers here in Hale. I've hit a snag, though. The Wampoan elders, their council of leaders, are being eliminated by a serial killer. They've asked me to dispatch someone to get to the bottom of it and stop the killings, and they're not taking their goods through my turf until I do. So you're going to be my proxy, dear. I don't care how you do it, but I need those murders stopped. The Wampoans have delegate, I guess, a delegate here in Heo by the name, a delegate in Heo by the name of Maximum Law. Speak with him if you wish to know about Whampoa. He's got a big mouth, and he knows very little of importance. Don't expect much from that half-empty bottle of vinegar. You get your ass down to Whampoa Garden and talk to the elders. Lie, cheat, and steal if you have to, so long as they're convinced that there won't be any more murders. I want my cut back, and I want it soon. Okay, we're going to probably take this one first. I like this one so far already. 100 message. I'll need you to spot. Forward Artifact Liberation. Welcome to the Shadow Spot. I've received a request from an archaeologist named Mr. Drake. Why does that sound familiar? Is that a reference to one of the previous games? That sounds familiar. Anyway, he's interested in liberating certain artifacts from beneath a manor house located in Taipo. I've attached a copy of the video message that he sent me. The screen flickers a few times and the email is replaced with the face of a stern-looking orc. Hello, Madam Cheng. I've heard that you are a woman who knows how to get things done, especially with regards to things that aren't legal in the strictest sense. That's exactly the kind of help I'm looking for. Recently, a rich investor by the name of Leo Ho decided to expand his manor house on the outskirts of Taipu. Too much money, not enough space for fancy parties. He hit a snag with local government officials, however. They suspected the land his estate was built on may have pre-modern archaeological artifacts buried beneath it, all of them dating from the Song dynasty. Consequently, I was contracted as an archaeologist to oversee the excavations and ensure everything was properly recorded and cataloged. Sure enough, we were only a few days into the excavation when we discovered a series of tombs lying beneath the site. The scope of the tombs was far beyond anything Leo or I had expected, several acres of catacombs at least. I'm not sure he would use the term acres in this sense, but anyways, and untouched relics throughout. What's more, they're certainly older than the Song dynasty. They may even be from the previous cycle of magic. Wow. Before I could make my report to the Free Enterprise Zone authorities, however, Leo called in his allies in Tantian Incorporated. Leo sold the entire site to Tantian, who then leased it back to him. Because Tantian is considered to have extraterritoriality in Hong Kong, local authorities were powerless to stop Leo from looting the tombs. He immediately began building a museum, if you can call it that, atop the site. He had the gall to call his museum the Emperor's Tomb. Can you believe that? The odds of there being an actual emperor buried there are basically nil, but he doesn't care. Anything to sell a few tickets. Leo has continued his excavation using Tentacle contractors to expand the dig. What he didn't know is that I bugged his comm link before he fired me. Based on what I've heard, something strange is going on in the lower levels. Workers have been disappearing, only to be found dead several days later. Whatever is down there is too dangerous to be left in Leo's hands. That's creepy. Leo must have found my data line tap, though. I stopped receiving any information 3 days ago. The last thing I heard him talking about were a pair of ancient texts that workers had discovered. Then he issued an order that further excavation should be halted until he can secure the subterranean areas. I'm betting those texts are the cause of whatever's killing the workers. I have quite a bit of experience with these kinds of dangerous excavations, but an operation of this scale is beyond me. I need a team that's tough enough to get in and survive, aren't afraid of making a mess, and who can get out with the books and whatever else they can carry. Beyond the 2 texts, I'm willing to pay very well for whatever other artifacts your team can liberate. The more valuable, the better. Don't worry, they'll be going to actual museums, not some rich playboy's mansion. I've got a second program in place that'll suppress Leo's security system. The team will have to be careful, though. There are only so many alarms I can suppress. Go beyond that number and I'll scrub the mission. Where's he getting the money? I mean, unless he's the type of archaeologist that does this type of stuff, then sells the stuff, like the highest bidder type stuff. Because most archaeologists I've heard of aren't like horribly flushed with cash. Not on this level. I've included a catalog of likely items to help the team appraise the most valuable ones. They don't need to be subtle. In fact, I prefer they make it look like a common robbery. Tell them to smash and grab what they can. Let me know when you find a suitable group of Shadowrunners. Also, an archaeologist being okay with you smashing and grabbing a dig site? That seems odd. There you have it, a nice, simple robbery. Do you think you can handle something that basic, dear? I have faith in you. Let me know when you're ready to proceed. I'll contact Mr. Drake when you're on your way. Okay, I think we're going to do the serial killer one. Because I like it, and it's probably, wow, did I just do it again? It's probably, bleh, been actually reading too much out loud. It's probably the nicest of all of them. Like, somebody's getting killed by a serial killer. We should stop that. It'd be nice to stop that, period. Even if it wasn't a mission. So, there you go. I'm so nice. Okay. I don't think we have any new messages here, right? Go to old messages. Wait, is it? Oh, open jobs directory. Pending? Oh, here they are. Okay. So I think we're going to do the serial killer one, but let's go to the BBS here. Link, strength 100%, spoofing equals 1. If only it was that easy. Group info equals not okay, anonymous. Search BBS for relevant keywords. Matching local keywords, missed connections. Rappelling down the side of an unnamed luxury hotel in a ball gown on Monday night. Me, admiring the view from the 28th floor urinals during a private sortie for an unnamed corporation that I was infiltrating. Our eyes met briefly before you dropped out of sight. Your long, dark hair had come loose from your chignon, framing your beautiful, flushed face. I will never forget it. You were carrying a duffel bag, bulging with stolen prototype weaponry. Well, I filched the intel that goes with it. Can we connect? That's funny. Very funny, Blackjack. I'm sorry the job went sideways. I got trapped and had only one way out. Rad Queen. We were supposed to have each other's backs. Just wait till you hear the way out that I had to take. We gotta lay low for now. And why are we posting about this on a public message board? Okay. Terrorists in Hong Kong. Oh, this is about us. Let's go with the Poetry Slam first. Ladies and gentlemen, poets and Shadowrunners, welcome to the first annual Shadowland Poetry Slam. There are no rules, and there are also no prizes, except bragging rights. With no further ado, let the versification, like verses, really? Versification begin. How long do you think we can keep this going before the trolls show up or a sysadmin shuts us down? Why would they shut us down? It's a free board. We can be poetic if we want to. Just trust me, it happens. For some reason, these things always draw the worst sort of attention. Are you going to give us a poem, or are you going to stand around complaining about why you can't? Alright, I've got one. Wait for it. Synth muscle, smart links, neural boosters, cyber limbs, all fell to grenades. Little musing on the transience of life in the shadows. Very nice, sir. When the long shadows fall on Hong Kong, neon lights pierce the coming night. Tread with me the velvet blackness. Let no lamp shine on our deeds. That one's entitled Our Hour. That might just have been the most pompous thing I've ever read. Try this on for size. Lasers are red, shadows are black. With Matt on the street, you'd best watch your back. My poem wasn't pompous. You're uncultivated, Rube. It was a homage to Wang Wei, the famous Tang Dynasty master of the Jeju form of poetry. It's traditional, unlike that ridiculous limerick that you posted. You know what's funny is that I wonder on stuff like this, which isn't story critical at all, if like at the offices, at the harebrained offices, if they're like, okay, so we're looking for like poetry that we got to put in this thing, send in emails. Now, I don't think you have to take the word slam quite so literally. Hey, you people know the rules. Poetry slams have been out of bounds on this BBS since the Laughing Man debacle. Laughing Man? Awesome. Awesome. Ghost in the Shell. Yes. Props harebrained. Since the Laughing Man debacle of 55. If you want to sling your fancy words, do it on a different forum. I'm shutting this thread down. Laughing Man. Awesome. Told you. Okay. So we have terrorists in Hong Kong and walled city. Let's do terrorists in Hong Kong. Been hearing some buzz about some mainlander terrorists that showed up in Victoria Harbor and had a shootout with the HKPF the other day. Anyone heard anything on that? Ming Peo said there were 4 of them that got away. 1 elf, 2 orcs, and a dwarf. A troll, an elf, and a human were all killed on the scene. Word is that they're members of the White Star out of Hinon, coming here to start trouble against the Executive Council. Looks like there's a 50,000 Nuyen reward for any information leading to their capture. The HKPF seems pretty nervous about letting these bastards walk freely around the streets. You think they'd actually pay out to somebody like us? Not a chance. You walk in there to claim the reward, you're getting thrown in a hole with them. The HKPF doesn't keep promises to the sinless. Coffee. Freedom cowboy. Couldn't hurt to try. Why'd you have to be such a downer? Because I know the police. They're all dirty. They're only in it to protect their paychecks, and they don't give a damn about anybody else. Believe me, I'm just looking out for your best interests. Like you and your triad looked out for my brother. You know he's still paying for his reconstructive surgery, you bastard. If a man wants to keep his teeth, he should pay what he owes rather than pull a gun on me. Simple as that. Okay. Wasn't actually any new information there, to be honest. Walled City. I've got a courier job next week that's supposed to take me into the Walled City. I'm from Kuala Lumpur, and I've never been to Hong Kong, but I hear that place is dangerous as hell. Is there anything I should know? Oh, you've got nothing to worry about. It's just a low-cost housing development full of hard-working people. Here, take a look at this news report. The short triad clip begins playing. This is Sunny Sheng with Horizon News. On today's Sunny Side Up, the Kowloon Walled City, a blight on the free enterprise zone, or low-cost housing for the economically disadvantaged. We'll introduce you to some of the hard-working residents, how they live, and how they contribute to the growth and prosperity of our city. Prosperity. A montage of sequence begins, showcasing the destitute poor of the walled city going about their daily lives. The shots have been carefully chosen, showing only smiling and productive residents, a stark contrast to your own experience inside it. Many residents of Hong Kong regard the walled city as a place of no return. To outsiders, it's the last stop on a long road to homelessness. Rumors abound of feral ghouls, unsafe living conditions, and triad extortion. Yet when we went there, the reality was far different. What we saw will shock you. Citizens of Hong Kong working and living just like the rest of us. Their apartments are smaller and their shops more modest, but the people who live here wouldn't be out of place anywhere in the Fez. I guess that's free economic zone, not the game Fez. which in case which anyone from this city would be out of place there. Citizens like shoemaker Chow Sang Soo. The scene cuts to an elderly man in a closet-sized stall filled with shoemaking equipment. He smiles broadly at the camera. Oh, I love it here. We have a community, you know. We're like family. Maybe we don't have a nice view as they do in Repulse Bay, but I can't imagine living anywhere else. It's not paradise, no, but it's my home. I grew up here. How could I possibly leave? The camera shifts back to Sunny Xing, who now stands in front of one of the entrances to the walled city. Contrary to popular opinion, the walled city serves as a vital function. The poor and downtrodden find a home in the walled city, a community where they have a voice, can work, and even prosper, far from being the eyesore that the video suddenly stutters, freezes, and ends. Okay, I've decided to cut the rest of that crap. She keeps going on about what a good place the walled city is and how we all need it. Don't buy any of it. It may not be hell, but you can see it from there. It may not be hell, but you can see it from there. That's a great line. Freedom Cowboy is just trying to get you in trouble. Isabel. So, how do you know the real story? Because I grew up there. You know what it's really like? It's eating old broth made from rat bones because there's nothing else. It's watching your neighbors sell their 5-year-old son to organ leggers so they don't starve to death. When you die in the walled city, your neighbors cheer because they'll get the clothes off your back. I wouldn't wish the walled city on my worst enemy. Wow, that's really, really sad. Okay, so we're going to go, let's see, open a jobs directory. Pending jobs. I think we're going to go for the serial killer first. Yes, serial killer. Right, take the run. Good. I'll tell the elders you're coming. They don't like outsiders, and they might shoot at you if I don't warn them that you'll be arriving. Okay. Back to route. Walk away. All right, so we have a job. Should we, let's see here. It bugs me that I can't, like, middle click drag the thing. I have to use the actual arrow keys, which are towards the right of the keyboard, obviously. So I have to move things around to use it. Don't need that. Is he in here? Do we need to talk to him? Let's go up here. Real quick. Gobet's nest is pretty much what you'd expect. Piles of clothes on the ground, an overflowing garbage bin surrounded by stacks of instant noodle packets and towers of tinned oysters. Ew. Avant-garde posters haphazardly thumbtacked to the walls, overlapping in some places and peeling in others. It feels a lot like an art school dorm room. Gobet reclines in a corner, cradling a bowl of soup in her hands. At her feet, a cast-iron pot simmers away in an electric hot plate. The contents are typical. Hong Kong comfort food, chicken-style soya broth, elbow macaroni, tinned ham, quote-unquote, and a heaping scoop of egg-flavored miso-protein. As you wind your way through the piles of dirty laundry, Gobet slowly lifts her head from her bowl to acknowledge you. Hey, Seattle. She chews on the words along with a mouthful of cheap pasta. A corner of her mouth curls up into a half smile. How's tricks? It'd be a lot better if you'd stop calling me Seattle. Can't you come up with something better than that? My entire life just got erased and the cops want me dead. I'm doing great, you? Things have been better. Things have been worse. That's the attitude. Very stoic, very strong. It's downright inspiring. She skims an oily slab of fox ham off the top of her soup and pops it into her mouth. Now, you want to tell me what you're doing in my bedroom? I'm assuming you're not here to admire the view. I don't know. You're not bad looking. And actually, the room is actually kind of cool. It's got, the room actually has some what am I looking for? Some personality compared to the rest of the boat. To be honest, it's pretty cool. How do you decide on the name Gobet anyway? Ooh, yeah, I'm interested. I didn't. She pops a noodle into her mouth and chews. My mom did. So Gobet is your given name. Your mother named you after a wad of meat? She shrugs. Yeah, sure. I don't think she knew what it meant. She just thought that it sounded pretty. I'm assuming I'm not pronouncing it correctly, if it sounds pretty. Not that it sounds bad, just doesn't really sound pretty to me. You should get used to that, by the way. People here in Hong Kong like to stand out, and choosing unique names is one of the ways that they do it. Have you had any nightmares recently? Like bad ones? Her jaw stops working mid-chew. Slowly, she nods. Yeah, I have. We all have. Everyone in town. Me too. I just had a horrible nightmare. Let me guess. You saw the walled city and a black whirlpool and teeth. Thousands and thousands of teeth. She holds up a hand. You don't need to answer. I already know that I'm right because I just had the same dream. Creepy, I know. Her voice goes quiet. The dreams are coming from inside the walled city. I'm sure of it. All of the negative energy pent up in there, all of that pain and anger, poisonous whatever. It's leaking out. And while we sleep, it's getting into us. Because that's not terrifying at all. Oh. If you're so sure of that, why stay in Kowloon? Why not pick up and leave? You think that this is a magical phenomenon then? You've been watching too many... okay. Yeah, I think it is. Want my personal opinion? The walled city is cursed. Deep down, I think that everybody knows it, and we live in its shadow. That's bound to mess with your head, you know? And it is. But they're just dreams. It's not like they can hurt us, right? Yeah, when somebody asked that, you're screwed. Who says that they can't? I'm glad that... okay. She tries on a smile, fails, does her best to laugh it off. Don't worry, Seattle. We're fine here. But let's talk about something else, huh? I don't like thinking about the walled city very much. Too many old fears and bad feelings. If you're up to talking about it, I wanted to go over the ambush back on the docks with you. Any thoughts about the last run? You didn't bring me on our last run, so no, I don't have much to say. She shrugs. Nice to have a night off, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, she nods slowly, frowning. Yeah, I figured you would. That was a hell of a thing, right? Could say that. I'd go a little further than that. It was a clusterfuck of epic proportions. She nods. Yeah, that it was. Nightjar and Gutshot were two of the strongest men I've ever known. Quality Shadowrunners, both of them. I've watched those two fight through situations that kill anyone and come out on top. And how do they go out? She mimes holding a rifle, makes a showing of peering down the scope. Bang bang, dead dead. No blaze of glory, no final speech, just extinguished. Smashed like bugs. They went quick and clean. We should all be so lucky. We would have gone the same way if you hadn't got us out of there. She absent-mindedly raises her bowl to her shoulder. A rat crawls over the slope of her back and lowers its head to lap at the broth. It was more rat than me. She's the one who grabbed me by the gut and led us to that sewer entrance. All that I did was follow. I'd like to learn more about Rat. What kind of totem is she? Do you always let your rats drink out of your own bowl? Gotta run... you can assume this. She slurps thoughtfully at her soup. A clever one. She's gotten me out of more trouble than I care to mention. Gotten me into a fair amount of it, too. But I can always count on her to lead me out of hot water when I need her to. I can feel it in my belly, you know? Sort of a tugging sensation. I've long since learned to follow it. I wasn't aware that totems took such direct control of their shamans. Usually they don't. Me and Rat, we have a sort of special bond. She takes care of me, and I've always done my best to take care of her. Another pair of beady eyes blinks up at you from Gobet's hip. A second rat scurries up her shoulder to join the first, and to pamper her earthly children like these two. Meet Madness and Folly. Oh, those are amazing names for rats. By the way, rats are awesome. I'm not talking about like the gutter rats you find in like New York City that are like evil, but like, well, actually the ones that look like this that are usually evil. But like white rats and stuff, they're really awesome. I've never had any myself, but my sister had a pair, and I actually had another friend that had a pair. They're really intelligent and they're really cool. They'll like sleep with you and do all types of stuff. They're really great pets, with the exception of that they don't live very long, and when they die, they don't die well, if that makes sense. So that's one of the reasons I've never had any. But they're really cool animals. Very smart, like problem-solving intelligence smart. Hey, interesting choice of names. Are they just normal rats then? I thought they might have been spirits or something. Nope, just rats. She brushes her fingers across the white rat's mottled coat. Don't trust Folly, she bites. How did you come across Madness and Folly? She raises an eyebrow. I looked outside. I mean, they're rats. Hong Kong isn't experiencing a rodent shortage or anything. So you just picked them up off the street? Yep, think of them as rescue vermin. You could probably do the same if you wanted to. It's easy. You just walk into any alleyway in Kowloon after sundown and stick your hand in the first dumpster or storm drain that you come across. Keep fishing around until you touch fur. That sounds like a really bad idea. Yeah, in retrospect, it might have been. She continues to brush Folly's coat. The creature chirps happily at her touch. Odds are about 50-50 that you'd get your hand chewed off. I'd probably feel bad about that. You seem pretty comfortable with all of this. Been running the shadows for a while? She dips her chin. Long time. Started when I was just a kid. You're still a kid now, Gobet. What are you, 19? She rolls her shoulder, shrugs. Something like that. Your guess is as good as mine. Doesn't change the fact that I've been doing this for years, and you started yesterday. Matter of fact, Seattle, I think that I'm going to make a project of you. Take you under my wing, so to speak. You need a wizened mentor. Might as well be me. I like this girl. She's cool. You aren't wizened, Gobet. Back in Seattle, you couldn't even order a drink without a fake ID. Sure, why not? I could use the advice. And I don't see Isabel volunteering for the job anytime soon. You're in? Good. Starting the next time you visit, I'm going to teach you all about being a Shadowrunner. She stifles a yawn. You're going to benefit from my bountiful experience. Wait and see. I really do like her. She's cool. I'll be looking forward to it. Gobet stretches, stifles a yawn. Her rats scurry from her shoulders down to her hips. She taps the simmering pot on the floor with her boot. The soup inside has reduced down into a thick, viscous gravy. Yeah. You know, Seattle, this has been a nice chat and all, but it's getting late and I still have the rest of a hot pot to power through. So without wanting this to get awkward, she glances towards the door. I could help you with that if you wanted. Say no more. I'll get out of your hair. Take it easy. Yeah, you too. Alright. So we have been kicked out. Should we talk to Isabel or put a break here? Yeah, let's talk to Isabel. Why not? Isabel's cabin is an exercise in controlled chaos. I see that. I actually like this. This is cool. This is cool. I want a desk like this. It'd be really cool. Her living space is utterly dominated by an enormous jury-rigged computer. Serpentine cables snake from component to component, tying dozens of obsolete terminals and cyberdecks together into a single colossal machine. I definitely want this. I want this. This is my personal machine. If you're looking for your mission computer, it's downstairs. She doesn't bother looking up. You can see that she's elbow deep in guts of an obsolete cyberdeck, one of a half dozen that have been wired into her computer with braided cables. Actually, I was hoping to talk to you. Got a second? Yeah, I've seen it. I like this better. Thanks. She continues to study the cyberdeck's inner components, clucking her tongue. Skinny fingers dart into label a stray wire with a strip of electrical tape. So, you need something? Guess so, yeah. Can I ask you a few questions? You want to call out of the computer and talk to me face to face? You must be pretty absorbed by what you're doing, huh? Yeah, sorry, this is a delicate process and you're interrupting me in the middle of it. We can talk, but you're going to have to be okay with me doing this at the same time. That's cool. Let me ask you a few questions then. She leans in, scrutinizing the innards of the obsolete deck. Go ahead. I'm not stopping you. Have you been having weird dreams lately? It's quite a machine you're working on. Care to tell me about it? Oh, yes. She's my pet project. I call her the Octopus. Anyone who knows me will know why I find that funny. She waves a hand at the tangle of thick power cables that radiate out from the machine's central core. You might be able to guess why. Did you do all this yourself? Mm-hmm. She yanks a fried chip from the deck's motherboard and neatly sets it aside, then fumbles in a nearby bin for a replacement. I had to make do with whatever I could find as a kid. Taught me a lot about being self-sufficient. What is this thing made of? Why bother building your... Okay, what is this thing made of? Whatever I could find. Busted terminals, obsolete cyber decks, aftermarket memory from Maximum Law's dumpster. Scavengers would kill for this stuff in the walled city, but out here, people throw it away. She chuckles to herself as she eases a card into an empty expansion slot. Most deckers are early adopters. They buy whatever's newest, shell out huge amounts of Noonian in hopes of riding the bleeding edge. Stupid. It's an arms race. Deckers do what they have to do. They do what's easy. Throw money at the problem. Amateurs. For a quarter the price of that whiz new cyberdeck, I can have 5 of last year's model. And after I've finished daisy chaining them together, the machine that I've built will run circles around your store-bought wonder. Yeah, and you'll need a flatbed truck to carry it. Do we look like we're hurting for space to you? She rummages in a bin to her left and pulls out a stick of solid-state memory. It disappears into the deck that she's working on. I would assume that by this point, everything would be solid-state. Really? Wouldn't you think so? I don't know. I've got a whole boat to work with. Your cabin included if I told Gobet I needed it. You wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. I could if I wanted to, though. I like both these girls. They're cool. I love their personalities. Have you been having weird dreams lately? Her body goes still. Yes, I think that everybody has. Me too, and Gobet. We both have terrible nightmares. I was just curious, not trying to make a big deal over it. Good. Slowly she begins rummaging through the guts of the obsolete cyber deck again. Let's not do that, then. Can we talk about the ambush at Victoria Harbor? I'd rather not. I lost friends there. Duncan and I didn't come out of the attack and seem to... no, we're not going to do that. Sorry, don't mean to pry. You don't have to apologize. Just change the subject. She returns her attention to the octopus, turning her back on you. I'd like to get to know you better. Tell me something about you don't like talking about things other than your computer very much, do you? There's a large pause before she responds. When she does, she sounds vaguely hurt. I prefer not to. Nothing personal. It's just the way that I am. Remember to speak up. The whole strong and silent thing doesn't work for you. Nothing wrong with that. I just want to know who I'm running with, don't you? Yes, you're still a mystery to me. There's a long pause. I don't like mysteries, but I do enjoy solving them. She turns, gives you her full attention. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to ask you a question, something personal. After you've given me an answer, you get to ask me something. Ooh, it's like a game. Think of it like a game of questions. We take turns until one of us wants to quit. Deal? Deal, you go first. Ask away. She studies your face. We'll start off easy. Tell me what you really think about Duncan. Love and respect the man, he's family. He could be a pain in the ass, but he's like a brother to me. Because he's like a brother to me. So we're not actually brothers. Okay. Because I was never really clear on that. We're old friends who drifted apart, that's all. He was a means to an end back on the... I don't have any feelings about him. Like a brother, man. You're right. Interesting. Her eyes flit to the doorway of Gobet's cabin. The corner of her mouth tilts upward into a slight smile. And a little familiar. Okay, so her and Gobet are about the same. Well, you've answered my question. I guess that makes it your turn. How long have you been running the Shadows of Gobet? How did you and Gobet meet? Where did you learn to deck? You grew up in the walled city, right? Deck. The Wampoa. I lived there for a while after escaping the walled city. Oh, that's interesting. That means she's going with us for sure. The people there were difficult. We didn't get along, but it was a great place to learn. Oh, okay, maybe she's not going with us. And that would make it my turn. She pauses, considering. So tell me, what was your connection to Raymond Black? He was like a father to me and Duncan. He got us out of the Barrens. He's a rich old man who wanted to buy the gratitude of some street kids. I accepted. He was a benefactor and mentor. I respected him. In that case, my condolences. It's always difficult to lose someone who you respect. Your turn. Ask me a question and I'll give you an answer. How long have you been running with the Shadows? How did you and Gobet meet? Her brow furrows, and after a moment she screws her eyes shut. We met as kids, in the walled city. My prison was her playground. Ooh. That's interesting. That is an interesting line. My prison was her playground. What does that mean? Huh. I'm sorry if that was uncomfortable for you. No, it isn't that. I'll be fine. She shifts her gaze to the octopus. I just have a hard time remembering those days. My childhood is kind of a blur. And that brings us back to my turn. She gestures at the cabin walls around you. You enjoy it, don't you? Living like this, working the shadows. Yeah, Raymond Black was wrong. This is what I was born to do. No, I left this shit behind when Raymond pulled me out of the Barrens. I want my old life back. This is survival. I do what I have to. Enjoyment doesn't come into it. She blinks. We may have more in common than I'd thought. Your turn again. Go ahead, ask me something. How long have you been running the Shadows with Gobet? That's a good question. I guess about 4 years now. 4 years now? A decent stretch by anyone's reckoning. Although, not as long as I expected. Although, if Gobet's only like 19, that does make sense. So, my turn again. Her head tilts as she studies your face. And I think my last question for you... You're stuck here, marooned, you and Duncan both. He's obviously unhappy with the situation. He keeps going on about the things that he left behind. But what about you? Is there anything that you want to get back to? Nothing worth mentioning. Truth be told, I'm enjoying the change of scenery. Yeah, I left something important behind my entire life. Lie, my friends, my career, everything I had worth caring about. Well, we were in a cell. So, for a long time. And truth be told, I'm enjoying a change of scenery. Nothing? There isn't anything about your old life that you'll miss. I don't know whether to envy you or feel sorry for you. She glances down at the clock at her desk. An antique model with physical hands that looks like it was retched out of a submarine. Looking at this, it might have actually been. A frown spreads across her face. Shit, it's even later than I thought, and I've still got a long way to go before the octopus is fixed. She begins to turn away, her attention fixed on the stack of partially disassembled cyberdecks arrayed in front of her. Hang on, Isabel, you still owe me another question. Aren't you forgetting something? She stops in place, fidgets. If you've got another question, go ahead and ask, but be quick about it. I don't really want to ask this question. Do I not have another option? If this isn't, like, absolutely story required, then it's going to kind of bug me that I have to ask it. Tell me what you can about the Walled City. Her voice goes cold. Why? Because Raymond Black wanted to go in there and somebody destroyed my life to keep him from doing that. Why do you think? The hellhole's getting into our heads, influencing our dreams, because I visited the place and I know that there's more going on there than I've seen. Her cheeks flush, just like they did the last time. She averts her eyes. No. I'm sorry, but no. Later, maybe, but not now. Alright, Isabel, maybe next time. We'll do it next time. Blinking, she turns away and buries herself in the octopus's splayed innards. Please excuse me, I have to do work. I have work to do. See, I knew that was going to happen. That's why I didn't want to actually do anything. Push it, you know? Crazy. Crazy, I say. Alright, gotta put a cut here. Even on our new long-form schedule for the Shadowrun stuff, this is too long. So I'm going to put a cut here, and we will continue. And hopefully, I think we're going to talk to Duncan, but that probably won't be near as long as the conversation as the other stuff. And we'll get on the serial killer mission in the next episode. All right. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.
We're going for the moon.
Hey there, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider giving it a like. If you'd like to see more, just click subscribe. Come say hi to me on Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, any of those. I hope to see you next time.